right, John, we are back for another top 10, and this time we've reached a big one. A really big one. I'm sorry for that. That's terrible. But yes, we have reached the Nintendo Wii, the clear winner of this generation by doing something completely different and kind of the start of Nintendo's whole blue sky strategy that is kind of still paying dividends to this day. They had to rebalance it and realign it a bit, but the as we've kind of seen even up to now, or yeah, blue sky, blue ocean, blue ocean. Thank you, Chad, for keeping me honest there. It's been too long. It is still working out for them. Where not going all graphics kind of worked out, and they were able to still catch up over time.
Yeah, it was really important after the PS2, right? Because like with N64 and GameCube, they lost so much of their share to PlayStation. And GameCube, it was pretty capable. I think the only real shortcoming was those small mini discs, but otherwise it was really capable compared to PS2. But it still sold a tiny fraction in comparison. So it clearly, if they just made another HD system that was just like PS3 and 360, I think they would have faded just into obscurity. You know, it's just the same thing as everyone else. They can't do that clearly after N64 and GameCube. So I think it made a lot of sense to do something drastically different with the Wii. And as you say, it paid off. It was just this phenomenon. And it changed the industry in a lot of ways too, because it made a lot of just regular people take games seriously. Like people played Wii Sports, Wii Fit, Zumba Fitness, but then they'd also go on to get Mario Kart and New Super Mario Brothers and Smash and Zelda. And Mario
Just
Galaxy.
Dance went into like what 2019, 2020, like on the Wii, like it found that audience that had like those particular games, and it's a system marked by a lot of highs and lows. Like if you want like Nintendo and sort of just interesting family games, then they did amazing. But third parties struggled on the Wii. Like they have some hits, but they never seem to do as well as the Nintendo games themselves.
You've really got to dig for third party, because there are some fantastic ones, and I think some of the best games on the system are third party. But this was just overrun by shovelware. So much so that some people just, to this day, some people don't take the Wii seriously because of all the shovelware. Which I can't get behind, because I think just ignore it, because there's so much
exactly
stuff out there.
You ignore all you try to ignore all the shovelware that's on the eShop, and
yeah,
I think that's almost worse than what it is now, what it was on the Wii.
Oh, it's absolutely worse. Yeah, it's just it's not on store shelves, I guess, but it's for sure worse.
Oh yeah, easily. And I remember being just hyped for the Wii. Like it's just like, this is so different. This is so interesting. All the previews are saying it just has, it just works. And I remember waiting in line, trying to get one, managed to get it. And my first game was Twilight Princess. And, that doesn't exactly show off the capabilities that well, but Wii Sports definitely picked up the slack there. We're like, okay, this is like, I've got to show my parents, and then they got into it. My dad got really into Wii Sports, especially Wii Bowling.
Wii Bowling always seemed like a really big one. It was Wii Bowling and Wii Tennis, but my dad loved to play Wii Golf, and I grew to love it a lot too. Twilight Princess is an interesting one, though, because I think it kind of made the statement that regular games can be on here too. Because you're launching with a lot of party games, sports games, and they just get the most anticipated adventure game perhaps of all time to that point. And it's perfectly playable on the Wii.
Yeah. In fact, to the point that it took me years to realize that Twilight Princess was just a mirrored version of the GameCube version, GameCube edition.
And I can't play that GameCube one. It feels so foreign to have everything on the wrong side.
Right? It's weird, but it makes more sense because it matches the high roll of Ocarina of Time now, and it's like,
yeah, true.
Yeah, it's interesting in that way. And Wataniac brings up an interesting point where it's like, back when they bundled tech demos with the console, Reggie had to fight for that, because they were going to sell it separate, because they did sell it separately in Japan.
Oh, they did, yeah, for sure. And it's they also included the price of Wii Sports into our console, kinda. No one really talks about that, but Japan's system was a lot cheaper than ours because they didn't have Wii Sports. So we kind of did pay for it, but it's that perceived value. And
Exactly.
the Wii was still pretty cheap compared to 360 and PS3 anyway, so it didn't seem that bad.
Especially PS3.
Yeah, especially PS3.
I mean, it's still it's funny how Nintendo did this thing and then immediately PlayStation and Xbox was like, well, we want some of that too. And they started trying doing their own things.
Yeah.
And not being a bundled thing in just did not work out. They just
No.
could not get the same share.
PS Move, it did okay. Connect did pretty well. But it
Connected,
also,
Connect was definitely the more successful one. The Move, you
yeah,
barely hear about the
Move just sort
Move.
of came and went. Yeah, Connect did really well, but it also changed Microsoft's later years of 360 for the worse, where they
Mhm.
just stopped putting out their great stuff. Really, whereas I think Nintendo, they figured it out, but the Wii was also very front loaded. Sold really well to begin with, but it did taper off towards the end, and some really high quality games just kind of stopped selling well because the market sort of moved on. But Nintendo didn't move on. They tried the Wii U, and it clearly
We'll
wasn't
get
the
to that
time.
one. We will get to that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fascinating history because there's so many interesting moves forward that Nintendo had here, but they were still very much stuck in the past to a maddening degree for a lot of people, especially when it comes to online, when it comes to browsing, when it comes to stores. But then you had the virtual console, which is
yeah.
just the best thing for discovering old
It was
games.
incredible. Yeah, as someone who didn't grow up with a lot of those systems, that's how I played them. And as live audience was just saying, they were 240p, so they were really loyal to how they look. And you
Mhm.
could play them on CRTs because CRTs were still pretty common back then. They looked outstanding. It's how I played like Super Mario Brothers, A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, basically everything I played on Virtual Console. So there were sometimes droughts of Wii games, but I never really felt it because there was just it was just an endless pool of things to play.
Yeah, it was. And even had some interesting stuff on WiiWare at times,
We did.
even though it had its ridiculous size limitations.
Yeah, it's like 50 megabytes. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to be tiny. It was weird,
Yeah,
but
but there were some of the best games on the system were there though. Like World of Goo. I think that was
yeah,
just phenomenal. My Life as a King was great. Dr.
I
Mario had online for the first time on WiiWare. Like
mhm. I had
on
Lost Winds. That was a good
Lost
time.
Wins, yeah, Lost Wins. Online was a cool part of the system too, because you could finally have console Mario Kart online, Smash Brothers online, um, a lot of other stuff. Like Tatsunoko versus Capcom was one of my big ones, and it
Mm,
was free, unlike Xbox Live.
yeah, which is good because it wasn't exactly the best online, but
No,
it
did
was
the job.
serviceable.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's a lot of good qualities for the Wii. It's an interesting stepping stone for Nintendo, and certainly the mark of their return to prominence. I think, as you said, if they had stuck it out as they did, if they had tried to just compete normally, I think they might be around, but they would just be
there would be a
struggling.
handheld company, which I
Yeah,
guess they are now. But
I guess so.
yeah, far earlier, I suppose.
But anyway, we should actually get to our top 10 list as after a little bit of walk down memory lane with the Wii. This time around, this is our second highest votes ever.
Mm,
They got the second highest most votes so far. Did not quite match the GameCube. GameCube is still far out ahead in the like I think it was like 2,800. But the
gee.
Wii managed to get 1,911 votes. And as far as I can tell, no manipulation by certain Reddit groups. So,
I mean, Pikmin 1 and 2 did get Wii editions, so they could have done it.
oh, they could have, but they didn't. I guess they were satisfied with GameCube.
Yeah.
But yeah, quite a variety too. 418 different games
Whoa, okay.
being listed here. So we'll have to see what actually made it in. But let's get to it. So, John, what is our number 10 Wii game of all time?
Man, it depends how based is our audience, because there's lots of really cool Wii gems that not many people have played. But I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of like Wii Sports, Mario Wii, and all that, which are great games.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. but maybe not the most interesting, I guess, is what you're saying. You're trying to say, like it's sort of your basic picks.
Like, do I kick it off with something like Muramasa the Demon Blade? Because I will. Yeah, number 10. Let's say Muramasa.
Number 10, Muramasa. Okay, interesting choice. I think this is going to set the pace for you with number 10 because it is not Muramasa. It is not Muramasa. With 3,267 points, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
And we weren't counting Prime Trilogy for this.
Correct. Any vote for I double checked to make sure there's no double votes, but any vote that slipped through that was for Prime Trilogy only counted towards Prime 3. So
yeah, I think this is a good spot for Prime 3. It's not like the best in the trilogy. I think you can argue like the best GameCube game is Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 3, I don't think it quite reaches those heights, but it has some really cool moments. I love the Sky Town when you're going along those rails, and it's just artistically beautiful. The hyper mode makes combat just really breezy at the risk of your health. So it's like a nice risk reward. The motion controls, like aiming with a Wii remote, is still one of my favorite ways to play a first person shooter, and it's so effortless on Wii. So I don't think it's the best Prime, but it was a really cool showcase and a great conclusion too.
Yeah, for those kind of burned by Metroid Prime 2, this was sort of a return to form.
Yeah.
It still had its own thing. I think I remember like using the nunchuck to like you send out the grapple beam, you could rip off shields.
That's right. Yeah.
That sort of things, or rip open doors. They definitely had a lot of Wii motion gimmicks, like
a lot of
doors.
I point at the screen, pull a switch, turn it, and put it back in.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of those to try to get that in there. I've not replayed Metroid Prime 3 in a while, but I do remember that it felt like a satisfying conclusion to the trilogy.
It did.
It felt like a nice set of ideas. I like going to the space pirate planet, and then that's when you get your reference to Metroid Dread, and you're like, damn you.
There's two things in here. There's Metroid Dread tease, and then there's the Metroid Prime 4 tease.
Yeah, that's also true. Oh god.
Yeah, but it felt really high budget too, because it had voice acting for the first time, and all of those other hunters had personalities that you'd fight all of them.
Well, enough personalities that they got like, okay, here they are, now they're back as a boss. They really didn't get that much time to shine before.
No, not really, but yeah, it's a step up still. The intro felt really bombastic and cool, and your ship is an actual utility now. You can fly to different planets and explore them. You can call upon it sometimes to blow a pathway open. Yeah, I think Prime 3 is just a really cool game.
Yeah, it's just a good time. I know people were a bit split on the fact that there was different planets this time around, so she wasn't as secluded as past games. But I think it's still, I still like that. It made it somewhat easier to explore everything and find, scan it all and get it. I think it works. It's one of those where I was like, where's our remaster so I can re-experience this game, because it's been a while. Did
we like interacting with the Federation? As a one-off, I think so. I don't want it to be a staple of the series. I know Prime 4 opens with the Federation. I hope that we ditch them and we're alone. It does lose that feeling of isolation. But it was cool for a one-off.
I think we will. I think it's nice to like change it up a little bit, to not have it be the same structure every time. So this works. But I think also the Federation is there to put down bodies to show how dangerous the situation is.
Yeah. So. Also, your save data. If you got save data for WarioWare Smooth Moves or Wii Sports or Excite Truck, your ship gets little stickers on it. I forget if you need to finish the game to make that happen, but that was kind of neat to fly around with a big Excite Truck sticker on your ship.
It's completely negate any seriousness.
Yeah, the Mii bobblehead. That's right, Game Bear Benji.
That's funny. Oh gosh, but yeah, I think it's a solid choice. I definitely enjoy Metroid Prime 3. So yeah, there's our bar for games. I think that'll help give you a better idea of what we're kind of looking at. As far as what's making this top 10. That being said, our number 9 game, uh, beat it out by about 750 points. Like
Whoa,
there was
okay.
outside of 2 games or like one pair of games, most of the spreads are pretty far apart.
Hmm. So starting off with Metroid Prime 3, I have a feeling this is very Nintendo dominated. I will I'll say Tatsunoko versus Capcom, just to throw one more third party in there.
Okay. Uh, it is not Tatsunoko versus
Not
Capcom.
surprised. Would have been cool, but not surprised.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool. But no, instead, number 9, Wii Sports Resort.
I thought this would be a lot higher, actually.
Hmm,
Mm.
interesting. But yeah, it was an interesting sell by Nintendo to try to get people to like you have this free version. It's like, okay, here's with me Wii Motion Plus, so it's a bit more advanced, as well as other games. Will people buy it? And they obviously didn't buy it as many droves as the original, but it's also a pack in, so it's almost impossible. It is impossible. But it is the better game.
I
Like
want to say it sold like 30 million, maybe, which is a lot of sales.
still a lot, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it is the better game for sure, yeah. Woohoo Island is such a cool location. I love how, like, when you're in the plane mode, you can just fly around freely. I guess kind of like Mario Kart World Free Roam, and you can just find all the sports. Like, you can fly around the golf courses, you can see where table tennis is. It
Mhm.
just feels so realized. I wish Woohoo Island had more than it did, because an RPG was planned to take place there, but it never happened.
Oh, that's a
Um,
shame.
but yeah, 'cause it feels like there's so much personality and charm there. And it's so cool to like do sword fighting where you're running along, just smacking all these Mii's coming towards you while you're on the island. Um, I love it. I think Wii Sports Resorts just it is one of the best Wii games for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, it's up there. I didn't put as much time into it because I think by the time Wii Sports Resort it came out, I was kind of getting over motion controls
Mm,
a bit. It wasn't quite clicking with me as much. I was like, okay, my family isn't as into this anymore. Do I really need it? Should I pick this up? And I played a little bit of it. What I played is definitely good, but I never got played enough to um fall in love with Woohoo Island, for example. And it's which feels like kind of a shame because so many people that played this game love Woohoo Island. Like it is
yeah,
like that is the star for them between this and Pilot Wings Resort and so
totally.
forth. Like they
Yeah.
love this place.
The Alpha Lion says, "Fun fact: Golf came back in Resort because Miyamoto slipped up in an interview. Right, he said golf was coming, so they had to like, oh, guess we got to do golf because like table tennis properly uses Motion Plus for like your racket. Golf
Mhm.
it does, but like it's not as clear, is it? So you've got like sword fighting, which is it's a clear one to one of motion. You've got the playing game with another clear one to one. Golf kind of stands out as an odd one because there weren't that many sports brought back other than golf really and bowling I guess but
Bowling, yeah.
yeah in bowling in the first Wii Sports you're actually like throwing that thing whereas now you can properly throw like a regular bowling ball and get the twists in there properly.
Mhm. Which also kind of makes it harder. 'Cause my dad found the secret of like he knew exactly where to place it, what angle to put it,
Oh yeah.
how hard to throw it, get a perfect game.
uh,
So that definitely raised the challenge a bit more. Um, but yeah, it's just a good time. It's just you'd love to see. Like I've seen so many people that just love this game. I think wasn't basketball in this as well,
it
like
wasn't yeah it wasn't this
like doing
yeah
free throws.
yeah yeah this
So
game set such a high bar that Switch Sports kind of struggled in its reception because of it. Switch Sports adds
mhm.
online, makes it kind of infinitely replayable, but everyone's like, well, Resort had all these other sports. Where are those? And it's a valid question because Resort
Mhm.
was packed. It was packed and had this really cool island. And yeah, Switch Sports doesn't have that.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I think Switch Sports sold fine, but I we saw that and was like, oh, this is gonna be huge, and this is like
Yeah.
not quite.
It's still sold like 15 million, which it is pretty huge, but
That's still pretty good,
yeah.
but oh well. But yeah, Wii Sports Resort at number 9, very solid pick, very reminiscent, or emblematic of what this era was all about for Nintendo.
Hmm.
But let's go ahead and get to number 8, which only beat Wii Sports Resort by 7 points. This is our closest gap.
Okay, so I'm not going to be saying Tatsunoko versus Capcom. I'm not going to be saying Muramasa the Demon Blade. Let's say, huh? By the look on your face, I don't know if maybe this is one of those. I think Mario Wii is probably being saved for a bit later, but maybe Kirby's Adventure Wii, Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
Okay. All right. At number 8, Wii Sports.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just right neck and neck with each other. Like it really could have gone either way. And it's a valid point. Like I'd say Wii Sports Resort is the better game. Wii Sports is the more iconic game.
Yeah, it's a more influential one.
Mhm.
This was the one that got non-gamers playing games. You know, you just hand it to a family member. So instantly understandable. Like, how do you play tennis? You swing it like a tennis racket. It doesn't like rely on other gamey inputs. It's just entirely motion based. Like, the only game that uses the nunchuck is boxing, and that's also for motion. It's just so versatile and easy to understand, and it had the depth there too.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely a tech demo, and there's certainly games that are better than others. Like boxing just felt like just waving your arms around and hoping for the best. I couldn't really get much of at least I couldn't get much of a method there for boxing, but tennis felt good, bowling felt good. As you said, I did golf with my dad. I can't remember the fifth sport.
So it's baseball, tennis,
baseball.
boxing,
That's the one I forgot.
bowling. Yeah. Some of live audience are questioning whether it belongs here. They're saying it's iconic, but is it really that good? I think it is good.
Yeah.
It's a good question though.
It's not. There's not a lot to it, but does there need to be a lot to it? Like compare it. Like this is an odd example, but compare it to Super Mario Brothers. Is there a lot to Super Mario Brothers? In the grand scheme, like if you know what you're doing, you can beat that game in 30 minutes. So there's more gameplay here, but again, it's apples to oranges of that idea. Best of the Wii, that's yes. I think it merits it just because this is the game that your grandparents played, that went to nursing homes so that they could play it there, that you play with your parents, that you pulled out at Thanksgiving or whatever holiday and played together.
Yeah.
That's its value. That's its legacy.
Yeah.
And you were kind of doing that with Wii Sports Resort, but nowhere near to that same degree.
Yeah, this is something that I think people still pull out. Like they pull out their Wiis from the attic and they play Wii Sports. You know, it has stood the test of time. Every now and then I play Wii Sports. I think golf is still a ton of fun. Bowling's still a ton of fun. I'm not so into boxing, like you say. Not so into baseball either. But I can play tennis and golf endlessly.
Yeah, I mean you had those sports and you were kind of good to go. Yeah. And
by the way, watch a Wii Sports golf speed run. By the way, they're wild.
Oh, really?
yeah. People have they've narrowed down everything. I was like, wow. The wind's random, so like they have to like apply to that. But yeah, people's their thought process is wild to how they play Wii Sports golf.
I never even would have thought of a Wii Sports golf speed run.
Yeah.
My thing that blew my mind is when I somebody pointed out that the holes for Wii Sports golf were the same as NES golf.
Yeah. They did the same with Clubhouse games as well. The golf in that is the same as NES and Wii Sports golf.
They love those. Like we can just keep reusing these.
Yeah, they made like 18 holes. Like, well, that's it. Never again.
We're never going to top these. These are just the best 18 holes we could ever imagine. Screw you, Mario Golf.
They are pretty good, so
yeah,
can't blame them.
They do the job. Oh, are they the same holes in Switch Sports as well? Boy, they really need to find some good golf holes.
Yeah. Switch Sports uses both regular Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort holes.
Wow. All right. Go figure. But no, I think it deserves to be here. So
yeah, in a more curated list would have one of them rather than two, but that's that's the way it works.
Yeah, definitely would be one more. It feels weird to have both. And I think that might be the sort of the issue for some people, but I think but it also just goes to show the quality of Wii Sports Resort that it could match up to that sort of iconic status. That being said, I'd probably still put it this low. As either way, I wouldn't put it towards the top. of my list. But
No, agreed.
yeah. Either way, let's go ahead and move on to our number 7 Wii game of all time, beating out Wii Sports by about 700 points.
It's got to be Excitebots of Fortune Street, right? Now, this.
Of course.
I'll say, I will say Punch Out. Punch Out for the Wii.
Good choice. Good choice. Excellent game. Unfortunately, not here. Did not make number 7. Instead, at number 7, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Which is interesting because Twilight Princess also made the GameCube list. So this Twilight Princess doubled up.
Yeah. I think it deserves to be acknowledged. Most people bought this as a Wii game. It's sold like 8 million of its copies on the Wii and like 1 million on the GameCube. It's how most people played it. And I think the pointing is great in Twilight Princess, like aiming your bow, aiming the claw shots, the double claw shots even, like just aiming one, aiming another. That stuff's great. The sword waggle, it does get old. But the majority of the game...
It helps that it was a launch title, so it was completely novel.
Yeah, the novelty was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, this was the game that sort of proved that we can do these kind of games. And like you lose the second analog stick, but you get used to it quite fast. You just kind of like revert to how Ocarina played. And I didn't really miss it.
No, me neither. I got that game. I locked in. Like, and part of the story of waiting in line for the Wii was it wasn't my Wii I was waiting for when I was picking it up. A coworker at my work study job in college, she was interested in one. And a deal was struck that I would wait in line and pick up her copy, get her a Wii for her, but in return, I got to play it first. I got it the first weekend, and I would give it to her on Monday, and I played through the intro of Twilight Princess twice just because they got it for that one. I got it with her, played as much as I could. I think I got to like the second dungeon or something like that before I had to give it back. And then had to do it all over again with my own, but I still enjoyed it. So
yeah. I think it is one of the best, well, one of the coolest launch games ever. Like Breath of the Wild tops it as a Zelda launch title, but to get this alongside Wii Sports, it was just such a different tone. You got Excite Truck 2, very good launch title, but yeah, Twilight Princess was just that nice, big, epic adventure to crunch yourself into. And I played this so much. I hear people nowadays just kind of come back and like, oh, was it that good? And I've been there myself every now and then. Like I question whether I loved it as much as I used to. But whenever I come back, I still have a really good time with it. Like, is it my favorite Zelda? No, but I still think it's a really, really cool one.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that saw a lot of going back and forth in terms of public opinion because when it launched, it was getting 10s out the wazoo. Like just
people were pissed that GameSpot gave it like an 8.8. Like 8.8 for Twilight Princess?
How dare you?
Get them out of here.
Yeah, it was like if you weren't giving this thing the highest scores of possible, you're wrong. How could you not love this game? But then as you sink your teeth in, play more, then it kind of estimation went lower of how it actually is, but then you get that rebound where you're reevaluating it from that point. It's just like, no, I think this third reevaluation is probably the closest where it's at, where it's good, especially when you compare it to other stuff. It has its issues, but it's still a very solid Zelda title. Definitely a very different feeling. It's like it's interesting to see Nintendo try to go mature with Zelda and what that looks like.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about it again because we've done this on GameCube already, but I have a feeling the other Zelda's here somewhere.
Somewhere. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next game. What is our number 6 Wii game of all time, beating out Twilight Princess by about 120 points?
Okay. I'm wondering if this is a Wii Sports situation where Skyward Sword just follows it immediately. I'm going to go Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Love that game. At number 6, you should have stuck with your gut, John. The
Damn
Legend of Zelda Skyward
it!
Sword.
God damn.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's gonna get it. Nope, he second guessed himself.
I mean, talk about public opinion shifting. Like when this came out, people loved it. Like day one reviews were really positive. Like a month later, it's like, oh, this is the most linear Zelda ever. Boring. What's next? Then we get Breath of the Wild, like the most open Zelda you can possibly imagine, and people are like, oh, I miss Skyward Sword's linearity. I think we've come full circle now, where you can appreciate Zelda on different merits. We can appreciate linear Zelda, we can appreciate open Zelda, and all the in-betweens. And so I think Skyward Sword's now finally at that place where people just understand what it was going for and appreciate that.
I was a diehard Skyward Sword fan from the beginning. Like, there was something about this game that just clicked with me. And I would spend so long just playing every inch of this game. I thought I never had issues with the motion controls. The sword. I've heard so many people having issues with it, but not once for me. My only issue is I had to keep changing batteries because I kept running out of, because it just kept happening. But I did everything in this game. Like, I didn't bother doing much. I didn't get that close to 100% in Twilight Princess, but that also because it involved like bug catching and other kind of tedious stuff. But doing everything in Skyward Sword was a delight. Like, I found all I could, did all the extra challenges. It was just a fantastic time from beginning to end from a pure gameplay level. And that's not even talking about story, where Fi has her issues. She's here and there, she's a little too chatty. But the rest of the story, like the relationship with Zelda, how Link evolves, the origins of Ganondorf, as it were, it all comes together really well and does work excellently as a first game in the series.
Yeah, for sure. It's easy to look at this as quite barren as well. Like the sky doesn't have a whole lot to it, and there aren't like towns down below. They're all basically mini dungeon levels, really. They're big puzzle solving sandboxes until you get to the actual dungeon.
And that's
But
kind of how they showed it
Skyloft,
too.
mm, mm. But like Skyloft,
Yeah.
like more than makes up for that though, because it's just like this really cozy central hub where everything is, and like you keep returning to it for different side quests and. It's just really nice. I think I didn't really miss having multiple towns because Skyloft just kind of solved everything while being pretty contained.
Yeah, I maybe it's because I was used to the Wind Waker sailing. Still at that point, it's like, yeah, it's about the same as Wind Waker sailing. That's fine. In
Yeah, I
fact,
mean,
it feels
that's
faster because
true.
I can go where I want to, and there's some interesting challenges you can do with your Loftwing and so forth. Um, I don't know what it was, but the game just got its hooks in me, and then I heard all these complaints. I'm like, did I play a different game? Like, people were so mad at this thing.
Yeah, I never really understood the motion complaints either. Maybe I don't know because there's a lot of people who just can't stand motion controls in general. So maybe they were
Mhm.
just doing like the tiniest bit or doing it too. I don't know. But there's some really clever puzzles with motion. Like one that I love is there's a locked door with an eyeball on, and to open it, you've got to confuse the eye and make it dizzy just by moving your sword round and round. That was super rad. And
Mhm.
all the items like the beetle just being able to, like just sort of fly it around everywhere. The whip, like there's some really cool things that wouldn't
Mhm.
have really been possible without motion.
I will say though, I struggled in that first boss fight against Gear Him.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh, this is a test of skill because I can't figure out how to get around his defense. How do I do this?
Mm,
Eventually got it and got better as it went on. But that first time I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong?
yeah. I mean, on the Switch, like the HD remaster is nice. You get the second analog stick, but it isn't as precise. Like the Wii motion controller was just it felt more accurate and synced.
Mhm.
That's pretty much changed with Switch 2 though. Switch
I'm
2 does
curious
a
about
way
that
better
because
job.
I did not actually pick up Skyward Sword HD. I just sort of it passed me by. But I'm curious of going back and getting it now because well, the Switch 2 his version is definitely better. I was like, would I really enjoy Skyward Sword with with not motion controls? I don't. That's where my question lies. But then now we have Switch 2's version, and it's like, okay, I need to find
Yeah.
this.
And as Dat Alpha Line says, don't forget to mention the orchestrated soundtrack. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
After
gorgeous.
Skyward Sword, I returned to Twilight Princess, and actually got a bit frustrated by the field track because it's just low quality MIDI. It's like, where's the lovely? Skyward Sword just kind of it ruined it for me because it was just
Mhm.
so that game's just so high quality in its audio, and you get some of the most beautiful tracks in the series in there.
Yeah, and it does a lot of things right. I thought it had the perfect mix of um Wind Waker and Twilight Princess visuals, where it's like more realistic Link, but still has that nice watercolor feel to it that just gives it a style that stands out.
Yeah.
So
As Botaniac says, it came with the soundtrack CD too. I think you got like Symphony of the Goddess on CD, and there's a
yes,
bundle with Gold Motion Plus Wii Remote. And I want to
I
say
wish.
this was like it was like $10 more than the base game cost or something like that. It wasn't that
I
much more.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap, and I'm so upset I never got the gold Wii remote.
Mm.
Ugh,
I've got
such a
the Gold
shame.
Wii Remote. I don't know where the box that it came in has gone, but yeah, it's a really nice controller.
hmm But yeah, I mean, I get the complaints. It is certainly a linear game, but I never minded that for whatever reason. I just locked in and enjoyed it. So
Yeah,
I feel pretty okay with the placement here. I think
yeah, I do
this
too.
feels pretty fitting.
Yeah, agreed.
So yep. But we have reached our top 5 Wii games, John. So now it becomes a
Okay.
question of what are the ones in the top 5, and there is a pretty big jump right off the bat because number 5 beat out Skyward Sword by 900 points.
Whoa, okay.
uh-huh.
The Alpha Line says they're gonna say Punch Out. Alpha Line, I'm feeling like we've lost it. We've lost here. 5 places. 2 of them are gonna be Mario Galaxy. One of them is gonna be Xenoblade. Doesn't leave a whole lot of room for much else. So I'm gonna say New Super Mario Brothers Wii here.
Going with New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
It's
All
between
right.
this and DKC Returns.
Okay. Okay. At number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Shocking, actually. Actually, quite shocking. I thought
It,
this might be number 1 or number 2.
oh, really? You thought it would
Yeah.
have that? You had that high? I think when you see what the rest are, I think you'll have an idea of like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
mention Mario Kart Wii either. That's probably in there somewhere. But I guess it depends on the group. I think big RPG
mhm.
enthusiasts see this as like the best Wii game, and it is one of the best RPGs ever. It's
Oh yeah.
so no one expected it either. The scale of this world on the
No.
Wii. This was in an era where HD JRPGs just weren't doing overworlds and towns anymore. So here
It.
comes Xenoblade on the Wii, giving you like the biggest RPG world we've ever really seen, modeled on actual Titans. It was so cool and different, and I think having like British voices did a lot too, because
Yeah.
it was always
It
like
gave it that
anime voices.
identity. It was just a cost saving measure where, well, we've
Yeah,
already dubbed it in there. We don't need to redub it into, you know, American English. So
yeah. And it,
just
it
keep the
kind of
British accents.
changed like that cut saving measure kind of changed how RPGs are now. Because now we've got like
Yeah.
FF14 and 16 and Metaphor and Expedition 33, and none
The
of them are
only
going for
one The only one I can think of before this to have a mostly British voice cast is Dragon Quest VIII.
yeah, the Dragon Quest is like the only one that did it beforehand, you're right. And I think it like a lot of RPGs were all like anime direction before this, and it's really cool to get like a more fantasy vibe or like medieval in some of them. Not really Xenoblade, but it gave it such a different flavor though. It really stood out. And yeah, it's one of my favorite games. It's just
Mhm.
absolutely phenomenal.
It's one of those that, I think it means a lot to people because we had to fight for
Oh
this
yeah.
game. We had to fight so hard for it to
Well,
actually get an
America
international
did.
release. America did,
Europe
yeah.
just kind of got it.
You guys were just handed on a silver platter. It was like, yeah, you guys can have it, whatever.
Yeah.
But we had to fight to get it over here, and along with 2 other RPGs, which I don't know if they did as well. Obviously not because they don't get talked about nearly as
Yeah,
much, even though they're solid in their own right.
they are.
But Xenoblade just was this front runner where you try it out, and as you said, it's just a sheer size, and then you get to the storyline, and it's just like, oh my god, this is happening, and you have these moments that just draw you in. And yeah, it's not the prettiest, but in terms of how the characters look and whatnot, but the world sold it, the size sold it, the fact that there's so much to do,
Mm.
just really pulled you in. And it's a unique battle system where it's more almost MMO-ish in how you fight a lot of things and how you handle it. And there's a lot more depth to it where it doesn't feel bad that you're only controlling one character at a time. Because usually a lot of people are like, I don't know if I want to let my allies be just
Yeah,
do their own thing. I don't know if I like having that control, but no, they made it work.
they did. I like rebounding off different arts as well, like making them topple. You've got to work together to
Mhm.
make that happen, and obviously that's done by AI. But it's also you've got to really figure arts out and power them up, and make sure you've got the right ones and the right party members. So it's that satisfying click when you've got your like the perfect setup for all of this. And you can of course change your character when you're not in combat. And there's reason to like Shulk
Mhm.
isn't always the best guy. Melia has a lot of instances where she's the best person to control.
And
Um,
Melia is not handled well by the computer.
oh
Like
no, that's true.
if
That's absolutely
if you
true.
want her effective, you need to play her yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's funny to think about Xenoblade being this struggling little franchise because it's not like it's a mega IP, but they're all on the Switch now. It was given like the
Yeah.
red carpet treatment. They never
I,
stopped giving Monolith Soft, free reign to make whatever Xenoblade game they want to make.
I will never forget doing the retrospective for the Xeno series, just from start to finish. And the Xenoblade Chronicles might be one of the most important games in Nintendo's history, just
Mm.
because of what Monolith Soft has gone on to do. Because beforehand, before Xenoblade, they were a friggin' mess.
Oh
Their pipeline of developing games was so haphazard and just incomplete. It was just it always seems like they were struggling with themselves. They had these big ideas, but they didn't know how to get it done or how to take care of it, and it always ended up struggling to some degree. And then they started working with Nintendo for Xenoblade Chronicles, and Nintendo was coming in to look at the development of how they were doing this. It's like, okay, you guys need to do this, or like this is our Nintendo method of how we do things. Maybe you guys should follow that a little bit. And it took them a little bit to click, but once they clicked, they just took it and ran with it to be the premier developer for Nintendo,
they
where they're
really
the
are.
ones helping out with development on Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the Mario Kart World now. Like they are, you want a big open world, these are the guys to talk to. These are the guys that handle it. And to just even from small to big, they know how to take care of it. And they've just become like they took the Nintendo method and just made it their own, where they just
Yeah.
how they make all these games so quickly, I have no idea.
Crazy. And it pays off to just let them make their own little masterpieces in the corner. It doesn't really matter how they perform because they're building that tech to support all these other games. So like they they're behind Animal Crossing and Zelda and Mario Kart now. So like just let them keep experimenting, doing whatever, and then they return it with those mega IP assistants.
Supported all those massive games while also making 2, 3 DLC for both in definitive editions of 1 and X. Like, how the
Yeah,
hell did they
it's
pull that off
crazy. And they
over the
basically have
course of,
DLC as well, those definitive editions.
yeah, just insane. So again, I think this might be one of the most important games ever for Nintendo
Yeah,
and just in general.
I agree
Yeah.
completely.
So, but yeah, number 5 Wii game of all time. But what is our number 4, beating out Xenoblade by roughly 300 points?
So I feel like it's oops all Mario from here. I think we've got Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Kart Wii, and New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Um, Maybe I'll be surprised and DKC takes it over Mario Wii, but I'm gonna say number 4 is New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
All right, New Super Mario Brothers Wii. At number 4, Mario Kart Wii.
Man, I find that surprising too.
Oh, really?
Mario Kart Wii, it feels like it's just continued. No, like people still play that game online right now. People are still making mods for that game. It feels like the fan base is ravenous for Mario Kart Wii. So I expected it at least one place higher. But top 5 makes total sense though.
Yeah, I had no doubt that it would make the top 5, even though I skipped Mario Kart Wii.
Oh,
I
how
for
come?
whatever reason, it just didn't draw me in. I was like, I just looked at it. I was like, I'm good. I just was not interested for some reason. I have no idea why. I did play it at a friend's house, and it sort of almost reconfirmed my feelings on it, where it's like, it's fine.
Mm.
I don't know
I
why.
I played this one to absolute death, mostly because of online. Like, I
Mm,
played Mario Kart DS online a bit, but you couldn't really collide with each other. It was like 6 players. It didn't feel the same as local. Whereas Wii Online, it was 12 players. You could just do everything. You could do everything that you could offline. And I spent so much time racing with strangers, racing with friends, doing the battle mode, which was quite good in this one. But it's an interesting game though, because it's both incredibly unbalanced and also has a really high skill ceiling.
mm.
So like you get hit by everything in this game. The bullet bills are wild. You've got so much chaotic items in there, but the tracks are also really good. But the more seasoned players, they have all these wild skips. They can utilize the bikes to their best potential.
Mm.
Playing against any Mario Kart Wii Pro is terrifying.
I,
Legitimately, it is. They are
yeah,
a next level beast. It's so scary.
I would never even dare going into a dedicated Mario Kart Wii tournament or lobby or what have you, because I would just get destroyed. Because
Yeah,
as chat's saying, Funky Kong on bike, done. That is
yeah.
just what, if you wanted to win, that's what you did.
Exactly. When
And
you think this is the happy, accessible family Mario Kart, on the face of it, it is. But no, this, as someone in live audience said earlier, this is like the melee of Mario Kart. There's a crazy amount of cheese and depth in here.
oh God, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It really is. But um, what I guess the bikes and online were kind of and I guess motion
And
controls were kind of
motion.
the
Yeah, the Wii
big
wheel.
sell for Mario Kart Wii. I'm trying to think of like what else it brought to the table, but I think those are the
Oh, yeah, those are the big ones. People love a little bit of plastic. People love getting the
yeah.
Wii Zapper with Link's crossbow training. The Wii Wheel did nothing, but people, I think it just looks a bit more valuable. I guess just putting it all on a console, because Mario Kart DS did retro tracks. But just having a console version with, brand new tracks, retro tracks, having
Mhm.
online, it just felt like a big, cool Mario Kart. And motion probably did a lot for it too.
Yeah. I'm looking at who got like what characters got introduced this time, and this is the first time we got Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Rosalina, and Funky Kong and Dry Bowser.
Mm,
Those were our new characters. But yeah, you think I would have loved it because it really it brought back those old courses too. But I don't know why I skipped this one. I don't exactly regret it because I don't feel like I missed too much, especially coming into the later games. But it's still it's still a great game.
yeah, I mean, you would have played most of its like most iconic tracks in other games at this point. I think
Mhm.
it's always worth giving it another assessment at some point, whenever you find the time for Mario Kart Wii again. um,
Yeah, exactly. Not
yeah,
like I don't have a lot of Mario Kart World to play right now. But yeah, it's a solid time. And I love the economy of man. Screw the lightning cloud. Bring back the lightning cloud.
yeah.
Oh God, that's funny. But yeah, we'll have to. I'm curious what people will think of, like in general, think of Mario Kart Wii. But obviously, there's a lot of fond memories of it if it got this high.
Yeah.
So yeah. But all right, we have reached the top 3 Wii games, John. What is number 3, beating out Mario Kart Wii by? Oh gosh, I'm failing at my math.
A big number, it sounds
20.
like.
Yeah, it is 2,200 points.
Holy moly, what? Am I missing a big game here? Because I think Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are definitely the contenders for 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Um, Mario Wii. I don't think would it have beaten Mario Kart Wii by that much? Am I forgetting something huge? Ah, I'm gonna say Mario Wii again.
All right. All
Okay.
right.
Oh no, Smash Brothers Brawl.
Jackamon finally came in and
Thank you,
saved your
thank you.
butt. I'm waiting. I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm like waiting. It's like, how long is it gonna take him to remember this game?
I'm happier with Brawl than Mario Wii. Mario Wii's a good game, cool game, but I think its reputation's just kind of sunk after so many New Super Mario Brothers games.
So which one are you saying is number
I'm
three?
saying Brawl. It's going to be
Brawl
wrong.
at number
It's gonna be
three.
Mario Wii, but yeah, Brawl.
Okay. Okay. At number three, no, Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, Mario Galaxy 2.
Mario Galaxy 2 at number three.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
Yep.
Where do you love Mario Galaxies? I go back and forth all the time with what I prefer, and it's usually just what I played last.
I think it's weird because I think Mario Galaxy 2 might be the more fun of the Mario Galaxy games, but I like the aesthetics of Mario Galaxy 1 more. I like the storyline. I like the Rosalina's starship. I just the vibes they give off. Mario Galaxy 2 Spaceship Mario, it's fine, it's cute. I'm not really a big fan of what is his name, Lubba.
Yeah, the big Luma guy.
The big Luma. He's whatever. And the way you chose the levels being more like New Super Mario Brother-ish is like, like I think it comes down to aesthetics, and I think that's why I tend to go towards Galaxy. Just the aesthetics are there, and it did feel fresh.
Yeah, Galaxy 1 has a lot more space stuff, whereas Galaxy 2, it takes you to different planets more. You get a lot more blue skies rather than big spacey star backdrops. It's they're both great. Like it's hard to assess them both without considering them both. So I usually lump them together, but this one has so many cool ideas though. And after Mario Galaxy, you kind of think, how can they possibly just do it again and feel fresh? But they do. Every single level feels very distinct. Yoshi adds a lot too, and Yoshi even has a bit like he's a power up with power ups. So you get Yoshi, and you get the pepper that makes him faster. You get the big balloon one, you get the light up one,
and it feels like such a step up after Sunshine. Like to have Yoshi be so fun to use.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I think it's just a terrific game. There's so little to say like negatively about it. It's really just vibes. Vibes is the difference between Galaxy 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's what I put it. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember if I like the final boss fight against Bowser more in 1 or 2. I think 2 might have stand out a little bit more because they found a way to make them a little bit more interesting. There's definitely that idea, and we did the throwback levels,
right? Galaxy 2 also had the final level, which became like a staple.
Oh yeah, that is where we got that.
And I love that. I think having one final gauntlet is just the perfect way to cap off a Mario game, and they really started that here.
They really did make you work for it too, finding all those coins and having Luigi unlockable much earlier. Honestly, it is such a crime that Nintendo did not include Galaxy 2 in the 3D All-Stars collection.
It is. Absolutely it is. I've seen some people speculate that maybe it's because the gyro desyncs too much and because you use Yoshi's tongue to like point at things. Maybe that's why, but they did it for Galaxy 1.
Yeah. I think there's something there has like, come on. That just feels like excuses to me.
Yeah, I agree.
But Galaxy 2 really is wonderful, but I am one of those that do prefer Galaxy 1. So, but yeah, Galaxy 2, great game.
I'm sure we'll talk about Galaxy 1 really soon anyway.
But instead, let's go ahead and get to number 2. Beating out Galaxy 2 by 500 points exactly.
Damn, that's a lot. I always thought Galaxy 1 and 2 were really neck and neck, but maybe they're not. I don't think Brawl's one. I don't think Brawl's number one. I think this is Brawl at number two.
Okay. At number two, Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Okay, I'm quite happy about that. I have really fond memories of Brawl. I just don't think
Mhm.
it's the best Wii game.
Yeah, it's a good game, but it has its issues, but it does a lot of things. Like this is when we started getting our guest characters like Snake and Sonic, and
Yeah.
that felt good. And
the dojo, I have so many just
the
like
dojo.
ingrained memories of going like at school before lesson each morning. I just go on the Smash Dojo, log into the school computer, and I was just surrounded by a few friends. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like Sonic was on there. And he always felt like a made up rumor people would make in Melee. Like here's how you unlock Sonic.
I mean,
but
he was literally a made up rumor. He was the Easter, not the Easter, the April Fool's joke.
yeah,
From
exactly.
EGM.
And it was crazy, like to log on, see a trailer, and it's like live and learn with Mario and Sonic together. It was unbelievable.
Snake felt weird and out of nowhere. Sonic felt like natural. Like
Yeah.
just of course, because I was just like you. I was in college at the time, had my computer. I would literally wake up, go to my computer first, see what got it announced, and then I saw that. I'm like, there's no way. It can't be. This has to be fake. And no, it was not. And it was just it. He definitely Sonic could use a better moveset.
He could, but the novelty of having him there in the first place just felt like it kind of made me like overlook any of the shortcomings of Sonic.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And Supersonic was one of the best Final Smashes, and Brawl added a lot.
Oh, yeah,
I believe, like it is. Brawl has its issues. I think, in retrospect, the art style is not the best. Obviously, everybody hates tripping, but the roster was fantastic. The addition of final smashes and assist trophies, brilliant ideas to just expand it even further. Some great level choices.
Stage builder as well.
Yeah, that's also, you're right. We did get stage builder here. Subspace Emissary is just this massive single player that just felt amazing to play as or play through, just because you see all these characters actually interacting in different ways. It felt epic to have Bowser and Ganondorf work together.
It absolutely did. I think this might be like the most hyped I've been for a game before. 'Cause it felt so big. You know, coming off Melee, which it was kind of a museum, but it was very much just fight, fight, fight. Whereas this had so much to it, whether it's the single player or making stages, playing online. It felt like as big as Smash could be. And I think since Brawl, like we've had bigger Smashes, but they've never really gone beyond Brawl. They've never really tried to outdo its ambition, really. And it can't really be outdone because they went so hard on this one.
Yeah, I can't even imagine making a story mode in the same vein with even just the base roster of Smash Ultimate. Like, how do you do that? How do you come up with something like that? It's impossible. Like, Brawl is sort of the perfect size for it. It's also the last of our trophies.
Yeah.
Or was there trophies in Wii U?
They kind of did both trophies and trophies was in Smash 4. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, there was trophies in Smash 4.
But they did both trophies and spirits, kinda, because they had 3D models for all the trophies, and then they had stickers, which the things they didn't really want to model, but stickers are basically spirits. So you got both in Brawl.
Yeah. So, man, it's a shame that it in terms of actual gameplay, it struggled behind other Smash games, but content wise, production wise, it really was just fantastic.
Big deal for Kid Icarus as well. Sakurai just reimagined that franchise, and without Brawl, we wouldn't have Uprising. Pit wouldn't be anywhere near as cool as he is now.
Save that, my God! The glow up of Pit in Palutena is remarkable.
For sure. Yeah, I think at least we can say for Brawl now, gameplay-wise, it is distinct. Like
Mhm,
you look at Smash 4, and it's kind of like a middle child. It feels different to Ultimate, but it's like an earlier version almost. Whereas
mhm.
Brawl, just totally different to Melee, totally different to Smash Ultimate. I think that kind of makes it interesting to revisit.
Yeah. A lot of people feel like this is Sakurai being like, no, this is a party game, not a fighting
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And then he's just like, fine,
Fine, I'll make what you want.
if you insist. But yeah, I mean, it was a big deal. It was the big deal for the Wii, and the lead up to it was kind of incredible. And it kind of set the benchmark for just marketing for a game.
Yeah.
Makes sense to be at number 2, but I think it's finally time to talk about our number 1 Wii game of all time, beating out Brawl by, oh God, forgive me as I do some math, 2,800 points.
Whoa. So what's the gap? Sorry for more maths, but what's the gap between Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 then?
The gap between 1 and 3 is for our positions is, let's see, 8, about 4,000, a little, about 3,500.
That is really surprising. They always.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
this is Galaxy 1, but they
To
always,
have exact numbers, Galaxy
Yeah.
2 was 7,896 points. Number 1 was 11,172 points.
It is shocking. They always seem really, really close. Guess not.
Mhm. Yep.
Galaxy
But
1.
yes, it is Galaxy 1. I was like, I'm not going to do it officially. There it is. Okay, Galaxy. Yeah, it's Galaxy 1. I think as soon as you heard Galaxy 2 at number 3, you knew what number 1 was going to be.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it was not even close. Nothing came close to Galaxy 1. It is the game of the Wii, and it's hard to argue.
Yeah. I adore Galaxy. When 3D All Stars came out, I just sort of played them all back to back, and I started to notice some issues in Mario 64, which I didn't really pick up on before. Sunshine, I enjoyed parts of it, but a lot of other issues. Galaxy was just kind of a joy to play from beginning to end. And
Mhm.
back then, it set such a high standard because the audio was better than any other video game soundtrack I had heard before. Not
Mhm.
just in compositions, but the quality of them. And the visuals, that they struck such a cool art style that made the Wii look better than all the other consoles for a mere moment.
Yeah.
Like Galaxy's art style is so strong, even though it's in standard definition. It was like one of the best looking games that we've ever had at that point. Um, and then you've just got this such innovative gravity based gameplay, which is so fun. It's so fun to do a long jump off a spherical planetoid and just keep going round
Mhm.
and round, because the long jump in this game is so what's even not floaty, but you stay in the air for a while with it.
Yeah,
It's really cool
you can
just to
feel
watch the
yourself.
gravity
You
take
can
over.
actually feel the gravity of that
Yeah,
planetoid by doing that,
yeah.
and just having the long jump back, like it felt like Mario had his moveset back. Where, um, it's amazing how that simple spin added so much
Oh yeah.
to Galaxy's gameplay.
It's
Uh,
flood kind of, isn't it? It's
yeah,
a hover. It's just instead of slowing down for 3 seconds, it's just an instant correction.
yeah. You're not. I never thought about it, but you're right. You're pretty much right. It just felt good, and I was blown away when a friend showed me that if you spin jump, and then do the ground pound, you have a homing ground pound. Blew
Yeah.
my mind. I'm like, I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a really fun game to exploit as well. Like if you do a triple jump on one planetoid and there's one barely on top of you, if it's like a triple jump and then spin at the top, you might just about catch his gravitational pull and be pulled up. And like that, it's just super fun to find little shortcuts and little speedrun techniques. But more than that, it's just such an imaginative game. They
Mm,
kind of ditched the sandbox nature. It's a lot more linear. You've
yeah.
got a couple of sandbox levels, but most of them are just kind of get to the star and finish it. But that they allow that kind of linear format just allows constant curated level design that is so ingenious and so well crafted. And to this point, Mario's never really replicated it. 3D World goes in a very different direction, basically being 3D, 2D Mario. And then you've got Sandbox other than that. Whereas this is just this really cool middle ground of both.
Yeah, and I'd say it's probably still my favorite 3D Mario. It just it gave me a feel. Maybe it's because it had a lot of Mario 3 remixes in it as far as the soundtrack, but
yeah, sure.
but my God, it just felt like cozy, like cozy all the way through from the opening, seeing the production value of actually having like you're going through the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh no, Bowser's attacking right there and then, and he's literally pulling up the entire castle, and Mario's getting set off into space. It felt epic in a way Mario hadn't been ever.
Yeah, no, he still hasn't been that epic. Odyssey has small tastes of that, but the grand orchestral soundtrack, this nice like dark lighting a lot of the time, like very. It's in space, obviously, but it feels so toned in a way that Mario doesn't usually go for. It's stunning. I will say, in terms of the moveset, Mario is probably a bit more stilted here than most other 3D games, but the level design works around it. So I don't really see it as a shortcoming. It's part of the game design.
It feels more purposeful in its implementation, and man, as so many people are saying, like Rosalina, I don't think we've had it's been a while since we've had such a standout new character in a Mario game. I think there's probably some more nowadays, but man, I think people instantly fell in love with Rosalina. Like they demanded her to be in more stuff, and that was certainly answered with Mario Kart Wii. Like it was instantaneous. Like, okay, we got something here. And she's just been a mainstay of that, and she's been playable in certain ones, in certain games now since then, and she's just there. Like she just feels like a natural part of everything.
Yeah, this is just it's one of the most satisfying picks I think we've had. When it comes to thinking about the best Wii games, it really comes down to Mario Galaxy. I think you can argue Xenoblade, depending on the person, but Galaxy just encompasses the best of the Wii. You know, you look at this platform that many people think is, this shovelware-filled landscape, but this is just one of the most high quality and imaginative games this medium's ever produced.
And I was so addicted to it. I played it back to back, where I did the Mario, and then I saw I unlocked Luigi. I'm like, yep, I'm going through it again. Just play as Luigi this time. It was so much fun. Completely addicted to it. Yeah, I can't argue. I think I put this as my favorite game on the Wii. So, yep.
Yeah.
And interesting to see the debate between getting Galaxy 1 and 2, but one handily won that debate at least in this poll.
Yeah. But yeah, by a ton. Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are our top 10 Wii games, John. How do you feel about that list?
Not bad. I think we're missing the exploration of coolness in here. We've got the heavy hitters, but I think the Wii's at its best. I mean, you can see all my weekends behind me right there. I love the Wii. Wii's at its best when you explore beyond that stuff. I think the Muramasas, the Punch Outs, even the Excite Bots, like they're still Nintendo's hidden gems, Fortune Street. But I think there's a lot of really, really cool games, which I'm sure we'll see in the top 50. But it's a shame they didn't make their way here.
I think that's the key. The Wii is the home of the hidden gems. Like if you search, you can find some amazing games on the Wii. So you have to kind of dig.
You have to dig.
To some degree.
We've got our own top 50 Wii video on the channel somewhere, so you can see what I think of all of them.
I forgot you did your own top 50.
Yeah, it was exhausting, but I did it.
Oh my God. What did you put Galaxy as number 1?
I think I might put Xenoblade. I can't remember. It was either Galaxy or Xenoblade.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's see what everybody else voted for this. I actually went to 100. We don't need to go to 100, but I just went to 100 just in case we decided that. But
yeah, we can fast and loose it from number 50.
All right. Any predictions? What just missed the top 10, John? And by just missed, I mean by 350 points, or
I,
oh,
I
nearly 400 points.
I would like to see Tatsunoko versus Capcom, but I think it's too niche. But it is one of the coolest fighting games.
Mhm.
Period, in my opinion.
That needs Capcom needs to hopefully can re-release that at some
Yeah.
point. And that off the line checked. You put Xenoblade at number 1.
Cool. All right.
So, all right. You said Tatsunoko is not Tatsunoko. At number 11, Donkey Kong Country Returns.
I'm glad
Almost.
it beats out Mario Wii. It is the higher quality platformer.
Oh yeah, it is. It got close. I actually, back when I was writing for a website, I came out and claimed that I actually preferred Donkey Kong Country Returns to Galaxy 2.
Wow.
I thought the 2D platforming was just immaculate. I love the challenge of it. I just was I clicked. I was locked in on that game. I loved it.
Yeah.
Tropical Freeze is obviously better, but I have a lot of fondness for Returns. I wish I wish it got better treatments when it was brought to the Switch, but oh well. At number 12, 500 points behind that, Super Paper Mario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's a really good game. I'm kind of surprised to see it so high up in the list, though.
I think I don't know if it's got a reevaluation or not, but I mean it's people love this game's story.
Yeah. I think
Is a
it's a really clever game.
mhm.
Flipping from 2D to 3D, I think is still one of the coolest mechanics Nintendo's done.
Yeah.
Maybe not used to its best potential, but it's really, really clever.
It feels like they could go farther beyond nowadays. Like
Yeah.
it feels very simplistic in how it's implemented, but it's still like I remember seeing screenshots or even like simple videos being like, that looks amazing. Like it was one of those things where I didn't feel cheated to not have the standard gameplay of Paper Mario before that. I
Mm.
was actively interested and I thought it was cool that like your party was Bowser, Peach, and Luigi.
Yeah.
That felt novel at the time for a Paper Mario game. And honestly, it's just a Mario version of an action RPG, so it kind of works.
Yeah. I like this game.
Mhm.
I just I'm surprised. I thought this would be a bit
M-
further back.
Yeah, my biggest issue is I don't like its art style. I think the NPCs
Mm.
are ugly as sin, and I don't like. I just I don't click with them that well.
Sure. Yeah, I understand
But
that. They're just little blobs and shapes, aren't they?
yeah, I just there's no. It feels like there's no outside of like chunks or something like that. There's not a lot of personality to
Yeah, I
those
get
that are
that.
in that design.
Mm,
You get the villains have great designs, but
mm.
the NPCs not so much. At number 13, this is where New Super Mario Brothers Wii is.
It's interesting to see it behind Super Paper Mario.
Mhm.
Uh,
I
Mario
wondered if it
Wii,
would make the top 10. I was actually kind of shocked it didn't.
yeah, like Mario Wii, it has a lot of nostalgia. I hear quite often people say this is their favorite New Super Mario Brothers game, and
Mhm.
it is really well designed. And I think at the time it was pretty cool. You know, we had New Super Mario Brothers, and then we had a big console sequel with multiplayer. That felt genuinely cool.
Mhm.
Um, it's just they overdid it, and I think that's kind of hurt its legacy.
Yeah, I think with DS and Wii, you were perfect, but then they may have overextended themselves with 2 and Wii U.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I played the entirety of New Super Mario Brothers Wii in co-op, and I had a blast with that. That made it
Same.
stand out so much to me. It was so much fun. Um, Penguin power up was fine as far as new power ups go.
It's
I
just
think
the
there's also we
power
got
up with
the
another
as
ring.
well like we got the whirly hat, the propeller
Yeah,
power up as well, and
yeah,
that's a nice long standing one.
yeah.
So yeah, but I think it's a good legacy. Definitely. I mean, it outsold Galaxy. That's the
True.
crazy thing. It
Yeah.
outsold Galaxy.
I mean, this was just the easy family game, wasn't it? Like, just hand a
Yeah, that's
controller
true.
to a friend and play Mario together.
Hmm. At number 14, only behind by about by 150, Kirby's Return to Dreamland or Kirby Adventure Wii.
Mm. Yeah, I like this one, and I know I think is it that Alpha Lion who loves this? It's I like this game a lot, and I think at
It,
the time Kirby returning to console was a big deal because Kirby hadn't
mhm,
had a traditional 2D game since 64. You add multiplayer to this. It's cool. I think after like Robobot and all that, this one feels a little bit vanilla. But it
Yeah,
is still nice though.
one of the arguments I always made for these games is how I liked how as they progressed through this Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot, uh, Kirby was able to integrate the special abilities into the levels much more so.
Mm,
Here you just get here's your special power up and you get to wreak havoc for a few screens and then
yeah.
you get access to a secret. It's like it's visually cool, but its gameplay is over and pretty basic after a while. I've not got to try out the new stuff in the remaster, the
Mm,
Magalore stuff, but I've heard good stuff, good things, and there it is just generally fun. Like the value is in the return to this standard of gameplay and having that
yeah,
multiplayer. Like that
totally.
is the fun of it because there was a lot of spin-offs where it's just doing a lot of different things where it doesn't exactly feel like Kirby.
And the art style was really nice too, just fluffy, colorful. I think it was really nice for the Wii.
For sure. At number 15, 250 points below that, Punch Out.
I wish this was higher. Punch
Yeah.
Out on the Wii is phenomenal. I think on NES, I think this is the best aged NES game.
Mhm.
It's so great. Wii is kind of that again, but with just beautiful animation. Next Level Games really made a name for themselves here when it came to animation. Like they became a
Mhm.
powerhouse of it. It's stunning to look at, great to play. It's the best Punch Out. It's so
Yeah.
well made.
It's challenging too. You can get through
Yeah.
the main portion pretty easily, but those rematches are hell.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the fight against Donkey Kong at the end. Oh, that was
I've
rad.
never fought Donkey Kong. I've never been good enough to beat the others. It's just like, oh my god, if I can't even take out these guys, how the heck am I gonna beat Donkey Kong? It's
Mm.
impossible. I missed out. I it's if it ever gets re-released, they need to include the Doc fight as
Oh yeah,
well
they
because that
do.
was
Yeah, the Club
its own
Nintendo
separate
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, also, just brilliant idea to have all the characters talk in their native tongue. That
Oh
was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah. A bit stereotypical going back, like you fight Glass Joe and you get this the music in the background just so but
Yeah,
it
I mean,
it's still fun though.
it was of its time. They were
Yeah.
definitely leaning into the cultures of those, and even the original was definitely leaning into stereotypes.
Yeah, it's like you knock someone out who's French though and they bleed baguettes or something. It is funny.
uh, did we? I'm blanking. Do we have a British boxer?
I
I
think
don't
we
think
did. I remember seeing a British flag in there.
the closest we have is the closest I can think of is Irish, but
Mm.
I don't think that's don't think we have a pure British boxer, which is a bit of a shame. But
Oh, you're
I
right,
guess our
Dave.
American
They bleed croissants. Yeah, you're right. Not baguettes. My bad.
yeah, croissants. Closest American was we get is either take your pick, either King Hippo or Disco Kid.
Mm.
Oh goodness, but glad to see it up there. But at number 16, another one people were definitely hoping to hit the top 10, didn't quite make it. Only 50 points behind Rhythm Heaven Fever.
Yeah, I was considering this for the top 10, but then I saw where the list was going, and I was like, nah, probably not. Um, Again, this is like I think it's between this and Megamix for the best in the series, but Fever having it on the TV, uh, it's just nice. It's just nice to play a big rhythm game with nice speakers, and it's got some of the best mini games in the series. You know,
Mhm.
it's still the peak, I think.
I I'm waiting for the next Rhythm Heaven because for some reason I've never played a Rhythm Heaven, never
Oh
touched one of
man,
them.
I
So
feel like you'd love them too.
probably would. So I'm definitely paying attention to the new one that's coming out.
Mm.
And looking forward to that. Yeah, I've never touched it. I've seen it, but never touched it. And I always like the like people do those fan ones where they just like
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
do their I think they just make their own where it's not even a game, they just time an animation to it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a niche franchise, but people are so passionate about it that you'll think it was huge. And
Mhm.
hopefully that passion bleeds into the new one where people really just try it.
Yeah. So behind the scenes things on this one though, I actually had to delete votes
Oh.
for this game, because somebody there's 3 different people who decided to put individual Rhythm Heaven games
Oh.
in as their votes, and I'm just like, I can't, like, they're trying to like double up on those, because at first I was like, I guess that counts. It's part of the game, and then I was like, let me look this up, and I saw it, and they've every like top number in their 10 was one of the individual games. I'm like, I don't know how to count this. I have to just negate it. I just have
Yeah,
to cut
yeah.
it, because I don't know how to properly count it. Like, does it deserve to still have the 10 points? I'm like, no, you kind of
Yeah.
made me mad because you tried to manipulate things. So no,
Mhm.
doesn't work that way. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to number 17, which is Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
Cool, cool. This it's this kind of speaks to the Wii's GameCube compatibility, because you can just plug in a GameCube controller, use your GameCube save, and just carry on over. It's so seamless between the two.
Yeah, it was a great idea, but oh man, whoever decided to translate uh normal as like hard as
Yeah.
normal in the American version screwed over so many players. I remember getting
Mhm.
this and being like, man, I love Path of Radiance, such a good time. Oh god, why am I dying so often? I can't keep
No.
anybody alive. This is hell. I actually, like, the first time I tried playing through it, I quit it by the time I got to Act 3, because I was like, I can't keep
I was
resetting.
similar, and then I read online that it was a mistranslation of the difficulties. I was like, Maybe I should give this another shot then."
And it's so much more manageable. It's
Yeah.
like a regular Fire Emblem game when you do it that way. Who knew? So yeah, I think I'd still consider Path of Radiance to be the better game, but Radiant Dawn is still excellent.
Yeah. It's cool to see them just view them as like two parts of one whole.
Yeah, because they do answer uh, questions that were never answered in Path of Radiance are answered in Radiant Dawn. They are
Yeah.
very much a pair. So um, hopefully Nintendo, like, we got Path of Radiance coming to the GameCube NSO. Let's either get us Wii NSO as well, or let's get a remaster.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
At number 18, WarioWare Smooth Moves.
Again, one of my favorite WarioWares. I think WarioWare is just a perfect match for wacky motion controls, because you get those awesome narrations like the elephant or whatever else, the chauffeur.
Uh,
Um, yeah, and they're able to do basically anything. And what I really love about this is you get these. There's so many low budget games, right? Like you can just get these little scribbles and everything, and then all of a sudden you're in one of 9 Volt's games where you're in Wind Waker with the Deku leaf
mhm.
on your head gliding around. It's like, where did that come from?
Right? 9 definitely had the best ones. Where, like, you just want to see all of his mini games, because it's just like, basically, here's some classic Nintendo games just with motion controls all of a sudden out of
Yeah,
nowhere. It's like, oh, this is pretty fun.
yeah, totally.
Um, I remember one of us, I can't remember, I got it, or one of my other friends had it, and we just went over to each other's house, and God, it was so much fun to just pass the controller and play these
Mm.
games and see how far we can get. It was definitely one of my most fondly remembered WarioWare games.
Yeah, it's my favorite one overall, I'd say.
hmm I have not picked up the new one though, the sequel to this,
Yeah, it's good.
ostensibly.
It's good. It's good, but it doesn't quite hit the highs of Smooth Moves though. But it's
hmm
not too far behind.
That's good, at least. At number 19, Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Mm. Yeah, I like this one. This is really what I guess Goodfield also did Wario Land the Shake Dimension, but I
hmm
think this is what kind of set them on the map.
Yeah,
And at the time, people were like, "Oh, it's a platformer where you can't die." But I think we've just sort of grown to accept that's part of its charm, and it is a really
yeah.
cozy game.
Yeah, if I didn't have to worry about trying to set up a Wii U or a Wii for Kai, this is one of the games I would introduce him to, because
Mm,
he doesn't have to die, he doesn't have to worry about it. Though he's getting better at Mario games, that he's honestly he'd be fine. he's
yeah.
he's doing well at some certain Mario games now, but yeah, it's that perfect cozy game,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And beautiful art style too.
mhm, really made you pay attention. So yeah, good stuff. At number 20, No More Heroes.
Oh, cool. Okay. This I was just taken in by its style. I saw it
Yeah.
in official Nintendo magazine, and it was striking immediately. You look at it, and it's different to everything else. They censored it though in PAL. So instead of
Oh
when you cut off
no.
someone's head, like you do that finisher move, and you swipe the remote. Black comes out of them for us rather than blood.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
Because that's the whole point of it, be this just ultra violent, weird
yeah.
game. And I never bothered with I think I rented or tried out his previous game, Suda 51s. I'm
Hmm.
blanking on the name. Um
What, Killer
but
7 or?
Killer 7, that's
Hmm.
it. Didn't click whatsoever. But No More Heroes was looking that right mix of traditional gameplay while also being weird. And it had that, I was college age, so that cheeky thing of, how you waggle in order to recharge. And
Yeah.
I thought it was cool how the phones before you fought each assassin, the phone calls before each assassin went through the Wii remotes.
I
Like,
love when games do that. Yeah.
there were some really cool implementations here, and just each of the boss fights was a great time. Yeah, there's a bit of a slog to get to each of the assassinations, but still a lot of fond memories of No More Heroes. I still need to play No More Heroes 3. I've not tried that.
It's a lot more like one. So a
That's
lot
good.
more the open world's there. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, but I think No More Heroes 1 is still kind of the pinnacle of the franchise's style, though.
I'm not surprised. It's just there's just that coolness factor, that freshness.
Mm, yeah.
So at 21, I'm kind of surprised it's so far down.
Uh,
Sonic Colors.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about games with that the reputation changes. This is one that is it's so funny.
Its reputation's been all over the place. 'Cause I remember it being just like, "This is amazing! This is the
Yeah,
best Sonic game. Look at this new style. Look at these new voice acting. Oh, it's so much more, less serious. That's the much better way to be for Sonic." And now it's like,
yeah. I think it's still fun. The biggest flaw for me is that you start off with a really good act or a really good second act, and then there's like 7 more, and they're all
Mm.
very like missiony. So you get like some really cool levels, and then another one's like 30 seconds long, and it's
Yeah,
just
they're
this
too
really
bite
low
sized.
budget 2D section. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah, a lot a bigger focus on 2D, which I didn't realize the first time I played it, but after going back to it, it's very obvious. And I wonder if the remaster also harmed its reputation because it did not
probably.
get a great remaster.
Yeah, yeah. I think the game's a lot better than it's made out to be, but
Mhm.
I agree. It's not as good as people heralded it to be when it was brand new. So I remember people saying it's better than the adventure games, and even back then I was a bit like, is it?
I
But
just knew it was
it's
better
fun
than
though.
Unleashed, so I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm happy.
yeah. I mean that's the premise, right? It's the modern Unleashed levels without the werehog, and they did that pretty well.
Yeah, very much so. At 22, Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition. Now, you'd expect this to be higher, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of people had the same idea. But I didn't put it on my top 10 just because it was already on the GameCube top 10. So I wanted to highlight other things.
Did the same thing. Yeah, I hope that was what everyone did. I hope everybody only kept it this low because they wanted to give other games the spotlight. This is the best version of one of the best games ever. That
Hmm.
pointing, the Wii remote was made for pointing. Like that sensor bar with that constant sync is the best use of motion. It was great for light gun games. It was great for shooters, and Resident Evil 4 was just the perfect mix because it's already
Hmm.
quite a tank control game, which is great for just a single analog stick. And then you've just got the versatility of pointing anywhere. I think it's still one of the best inputs for a shooting game.
And then you could be so quick with the knife because you just waggle. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's amazing how well that control worked out. And the fact that you had got all the PlayStation 2 content as
Mm.
well, it was just a great value.
It was. I had a friend who was really into the GameCube version and didn't want to learn motion controls, and so we'd take turns in Mercenaries. And you could just unplug the nunchuck, plug in a GameCube controller, and suddenly you've got GameCube controls. So
Oh,
we'd just trade control schemes back and forth and play happily how we were comfortable, and that was rad.
he didn't watch you and be like, does seem faster.
I think he did, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to admit it.
He didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh goodness. But yeah, hopefully a lot of people were like us because it should be higher. It deserves to be in that top 10 easily.
Yeah.
But I think I'm hoping because it already made the GameCube top 10, it's fine.
It's in the running for Game
It's
of
in the running.
forever.
Yeah.
It's all good.
That's all good. At number 23, Sin and Punishment Star Successor.
Man, I wish this sold more. I wish more people played it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Like we didn't have a Star Fox. I think that's okay because this game is better than a lot of the Star Foxes.
I have it. I played a little bit of it, but I didn't click with it right away. I want to go back to it since I have gone back and played the original Sin and Punishment and being like, oh, I get it now. Because it took me a while to click with that one as well. But when you do click with it, it's like, oh my God, this is so much fun.
Sin and Punishment it's just Kid Icarus Uprising's flight sections. Like if you're close to someone, you whack them. If you're far away, you shoot them. It's that. And people are like, that's the best part of Uprising. Well, play Sin and Punishment then.
Yeah, right there it is. You want a new Kid Icarus Uprising? Bam.
Yeah,
there it is.
There's two of them waiting for you.
God, I hope we get Wii NSO so this game can get another shot.
Same. I mean, Sin and Punishment would be perfect for the mouse as well. Just I know Treasure's just like a little office now, but bring them back in, make a third one with the mouse.
If only. At number 24, Okami.
Cool. Really cool version. Yeah.
Yeah. Another good version. Makes sense for the paint controls.
Yeah.
But hey, at least it made the top 10 on PS2. So there's that. At 25, Mario Party 8.
Don't have many memories of this one.
I don't either.
I know a lot of people see this as like their childhood Mario Party though.
Yeah, last one before the car took over.
Yeah.
And I remember if I remember correctly, it was the one that sort of changed up how each board worked, where the win condition was a little bit different. Like one was more Fortune Street-ish, one was this, had different ideas or something to that effect, I want to say, but I can't remember because I've not played a lot of 8.
The art style's funny because it's quite realistic. Like you get like realistic walls and streets and things, which is quite funny for Mario Party. So that kind of makes it stand out.
To some degree, yeah. At 26, Mario Strikers Charged.
Love
so
Mario
good.
Strikers Charged. My favorite sports game from Mario it's Tennis Aces, but this is a really close follow-up. So much style, so much attitude. And it was online. So the GameCube game, already a great foundation, but this is one you can just play forever because it's online. I adore this one so much.
Yeah, and the biggest argument maybe against it is that it's really easy to block the super shots just because of the pointer controls for grabbing the balls. So that has its issues, but otherwise the game is still so much fun.
Yeah.
And never will see Mario characters with that kind of attitude other than this series.
No. And like the Switch game, it had the attitude back. It lacked the quantity. It felt like you could see it all really quickly.
That's the unfortunate part, yeah. At 27, The Last Story.
This is also a really cool one.
Another Operation Rainfall game. Done by Mistwalker. Yeah.
They cheaped out on all of the voice acting for the three of them. So this also has British voice acting. And it's also really good. I wish Mistwalker would remaster this. They haven't remastered any of their past games. I'd love Lost Odyssey and The Last Story and everything they've done to come forward because people they only pay attention to Xenoblade, and every game of Operation Rainfall is a lot of fun.
I think Mistwalker deserves that other chance. And were they the one that made Soma Bringer on the DS, which I also heard was amazing?
Oh, good. I don't know who made that one. Maybe they were.
Honestly, to have a Mistwalker collection would be pretty great. You wish it would happen, but I just, for whatever reason. Oh no, Soma Bringer is Monolith Soft. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. I don't think I knew that either. That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, Last Story. It's definitely felt like their attempt to make another Final Fantasy. I don't know if it was as successful as the one on Xbox 360, but
Lost Odyssey. Yeah,
Lost Odyssey. But still a solid game. Very, very much so.
Yeah.
At 28, here is Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
This has been done dirty. Man, this game's so good. I didn't know what Tatsunoko was going into this either, but I still
I
love
recognized the I forget their names, the bird people. the was it Gotcha
There's
Force?
June the Swan. There's
Yes.
oh, well, the other one's called June the Swan's there. That's all.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Man, it's so cool though. I had no affiliation with Tatsunoko. I just came into this looking for a Wii fighting game, and I think I ended up enjoying it more than most of other Capcom's fighting games of that era.
Oh wow.
Because it's really fast. The art style is really cool, but you've also got those giant playable boss characters as well. The online was neat too, and it just felt there's a flavor to this one that I think a lot of the other versus games don't quite have. Yeah, it'll probably never get remastered, but I hope one day something happens.
I hope so. It deserves that chance just because it is excellent. This is one of my biggest regrets because I distinctly remember seeing it in a store far after it had come out, and I'm like, I don't have the money for it right now. I'll try again later. And then now I haven't seen it since. So I'm like, damn it. Damn it. I should have spent the money then.
Yeah.
I could have had it and been able to play it, but missed out. So hopefully some sort of rights thing can get worked out that it could be possible, but
Maybe.
Not a clue on that one. But very, very cool lineup. Because I believe, did this come out before Marvel 3 or after Marvel 3?
I feel like it was before Marvel 3. It's definitely after Street Fighter 4.
So yeah, this is the first time Zero was playable in a fighting game. So. And then Volnut was also as far as Mega Man characters. So good stuff. But yep, hopefully they'll all right, the developers of this did go on to make Marvel 3, so there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There's its origin. So but yeah. Anyway, number 29, Animal Crossing City Folk.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. I think the problem with City Folk is it just felt like the DS game on the big screen. It was just it was more Animal Crossing rather than an evolved Animal Crossing.
That feels fair. I've not played it. Animal Crossing has never been able to sink its teeth into me. But
yeah, that's not to say it's bad in any way. I think it's great. Wild World was great too. Going back to Wild World 2, it runs really poorly, whereas this is 60 FPS, which is just nice. We Speak was also a big peripheral they shipped with this, and I did use that quite a bit.
That's funny. But yeah, there's that. 30, Wario Land Shake It, or the Shake Dimension.
Yeah, this one deserves a remaster too.
I need to play it. I have it. I just haven't had a chance to play it because it's gorgeous.
It's not peak Wario Land, but it's beautiful. It's I'd probably put it somewhere near the back of like the franchise listing, but that's not to say it's bad because they're all great games.
Yeah, very much so. Definitely one I want to play eventually. Number 31, Mario Super Sluggers.
Didn't come out here. No opinion.
Yeah, I've not picked it up, so I've heard good things, but baseball's never been my thing, and baseball is certainly not John's thing. At 32, Little King Story.
Oh, this came out of nowhere too. I just got into Pikmin when I played this, and it was like the Wii's Pikmin. It's a really nice little survival game, kind of going around just evolving your kingdom. I've not played the Vita port. I don't know how that turned out. I think it's called New Little King Story. I think never tried that. But I'm curious about it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of the game, but I always mix it up with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: My Life as King. I always conflate the two.
Sure, yeah, the Wii King games.
Yes. But yeah, I just missed out on it. 33, Monster Hunter Tri.
I mean, this is the PSP really set Monster Hunter on, but Tri is I think this is what made it a big thing.
Yeah, I think this is where it started to really take off, at least more so in the States. And I know a lot of them be like, this should be higher, but sorry. At 34, Muramasa the Demon Blade.
Man. I always thought this was like a little bit overrated, but then I played it like last year, I want to say. And that completely changed my stance. I don't know if it's just a different mood or something, but
Hmm,
it suddenly really clicked with me. It's such a great game. Vanillaware never really miss, but
not
the,
really, no.
the gameplay is just so good, so fast and visceral, and it's the art style's like it's like the prettiest game on the Wii. It's so nice.
Hmm. Oh, it's so freaking gorgeous. I hope this is has a good chance of making the Vita top 10 because it got that
Oh yeah, I
Muramasa
think so.
rebirth and port that thing. Why is Muramasa
Please.
one of the few Vanillaware games that has not been ported to the modern consoles?
Wild. Yeah, it really deserves it. Really, really does.
At 35, Zack and Wiki Quest for
God,
Barbarossa's Treasure.
love this one. It's so charming.
It's
Uh,
really fun.
we so good for point and click adventures, just like adapting PC adventure games. But this one does that while also taking advantage of being a Wii game. There's lots of like great gesture stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, just so charming, so
It,
nice.
it it can get frustrating at points because considering it like how it wants certain things in specific ways and it can
Yeah,
easily die and it's like there's definitely some frustrating moments there, but it's one of those where you like you play it, you figure out, and then you replay the levels in order to get the better scores in order to get all that. But it's a good time. It is charming as all get out. I remember when IGN was championing this game because they were just desperate for something on Wii.
yeah. And it's Capcom as well, so you know it's good.
Yeah, that's true. At 36, Wii Party.
I don't have a huge opinion on Wii Party. It was better than the Mario parties of the era. That's for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, I didn't play as much as some of the other Wii series games there.
It was cute, had some good ideas, definitely some fun mini games in there, but it felt like it was getting more of the attention than Mario Party, and Mario Party was suffering for it. Like this is sort of where you're getting your traditional party game.
Yeah, I am
Fix that.
surprised to see Wii Party ahead of Wii Fit. I think Wii Fit was a way bigger deal than Wii Party was.
Yeah, but I maybe don't consider it as much of a game because it's more about exercise. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
um, 37, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a good
I'm
game.
sure it's good.
Yeah, it's a fine game. 38, Fortune Street.
This it's a crime that this is behind Mario Party 8 by so many points.
Yeah, you more people need to play Fortune Street. They need to bring another Fortune Street out
They
and
do.
actually localize it. They had such a great chance with that PS4 one that had like featured Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Like you had Sephiroth throwing board game stuff. Why would you not take advantage of that? Like I
This
love this
this
game.
has online too. Like Mario
Yeah,
Party wouldn't get online until like a decade later. You could play Fortune Street online via Wi-Fi. It's got Mario in, and there's like Mario RPG music as well, which was like super odd because that was
yeah.
just like in licensing hell, but Square had no issue doing it here.
Great, great soundtrack. So many,
Yeah,
so many boards. You play against a computer, which you have to do in order to unlock boards. You're going to get creamed though. It is brutal as far as that
yeah,
goes.
totally.
But the other character, getting other characters, so many different characters, and just it's just a fun time. I try to champion it as much as I can because it is just that fun.
One day we're gonna get a new one. Like it's not off the
It,
table. It's not even unlikely. One day a new Fortune Street will come to the
it
West. It
better.
will happen.
It better. At 39, Mad World.
mm. I think this is in quite a similar category to No More Heroes, which is so striking to look at. You know, just completely
Mhm.
white blood everywhere. Not censored in Europe, thankfully. This one, yeah, I think it's really nice. I don't
Yeah.
know if the gameplay quite lives up to the art style, but it's still a cool one though.
Gameplay is definitely a bit more basic, but it's well, I don't know how well the edgy commentary holds up nowadays because they constantly
Yeah,
had commentators,
we'll
but
see.
I don't know about that one, but Matt, I have memories of this one. Never beat it, but I did rent it and enjoyed what I played.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Uh, at number 40, No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle.
Mm.
I,
It's good. It's really
yeah,
good. They streamlined it a lot. The open world's gone. You got like little sprites, 8-bit mini games now. I think it's more fun to play but there's something about the vibe that I don't like.
I heard it's more serious.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So it loses a little bit of the fun aspect to it. So
yeah.
At 41, We Play.
Came with a remote. Like,
yeah,
one of the best values on the system. We play tanks. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about all you can say.
Yeah. I literally have nothing more to say.
At 42, Rayman Origins.
I wouldn't say this is the platform to play it on. Not that it's bad, but I think the art style deserves HD, though.
Yeah, it does. Still fun. Still fun. Yeah. At 43, Epic Mickey. Solid platformer.
Yeah, premise was cooler than the game was, but it's
yeah. At 44, I don't know if I agree with this one. Pokemon Battle Revolution.
Yeah, no.
It is a stripped down
no mini games
battle simulator. No like there's nothing to it compared to the N64 and GameCube games. There's nothing to this. So why?
They also only had new models for Gen 3 and up. Gen 1 and 2 use Pokemon Stadium models. So
yeah,
but they look okay in the new lighting and all that. But you take a look at them, and you can see that they're way blockier than the new ones.
So I feel like that's nostalgia. It's like kids got that. It's like, yeah, I remember this. This is really good.
Yeah.
45, Pandora's Tower. So
this should be higher than Pokemon Battle Revolution. Come on.
It should. It only lost out by 20 points, but it still should be a bit higher. At least all Operation Rainfall games made the top 50, though. So there's that.
This one isn't really an RPG. This one's more of an action game. Some cool use of the remote pointing too. Like you've got a like a chain whip, and you can use it to you can slow down time and point at specific parts of a monster and yank them off. There's really great stuff here.
Yeah, for sure. I played quite a bit of it, but I never ended up beating it. But I enjoyed what I played.
Yeah, cool.
46, Sonic and the Black Knight. I'm going to talk about shifting opinions.
Yeah, I came around on this one. I think at the time, like Secret Rings was the more prominent game. Black Knight's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know if I'd put it this high, but it's not bad.
yeah. 47, New Play Control Pikmin.
Yeah. I think this is the best way to play Pikmin.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, all right. All right.
48, Red Steel 2.
This is rad one. Red Steel, cool launch title, not great, but cool premise. This one just realizes it all. One of the best Motion Plus games as well. Like you get really cool combat. The art style as well. I didn't think Ubisoft had it in them to make a really nice cel-shaded 3D game.
Yeah. I wasn't impressed with Red Steel 1, so I stayed away from Red Steel 2, even though it was getting better reviews. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have skipped it, but oh well. Tied at 49, Mega Man 9 and Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventure.
So different. Mega Man 9 should be way higher.
It should be way higher. I feel like it's being forgotten because it is on WiiWare and so forth. But I'm just not going to do a digital store only.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't think we need to do that.
Mega Man 9 and World of Goo should have been pretty prominently higher on. Like both of them should have been. They were some of the best games on Wii.
Yeah, agreed. But I've never played Pokepark games, so I got no opinion there.
All right.
All right. So we'll fast track that's our top 50. So ready for a rapid fire?
Rapid fire. Go ahead.
All right. Feel free to comment whenever you want. All right, here we go. 51, New Play Control Pikmin 2. 52, Excitebots Trick Racing.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Didn't release in Europe. I had to import it from America. Excite Truck's cool, but the multiplayer is like 2 people. Excitebots, proper 6-player online. Really lets it sing. I think it's one of Nintendo's cooler races.
I loved Excite Trucks. I was turned away by the bug cars. I was like, I'm good. So
it's definitely
yeah.
sillier. Like you're driving along and suddenly you're playing darts to get more stars, or you're driving into a ball to hit it into a net. Very, very gimmicky, but I love the chaotic nature of it.
53, Poke Park 2, Wonders Beyond. 54, Endless Ocean Blue World. Great cozy game. Actually has a
I
plot
love
too,
them.
which
Yeah.
makes it fun to play through. 58, World of Goo.
That should be higher.
Yeah, it really should. 56, Sonic Unleashed, which is distinct from the other one. 57, GoldenEye 007.
This was a big deal at the time. Yeah. I think we all sort of noticed quite quickly it was Call of Duty.
Yeah, very much so.
Not in a bad way, but it's not GoldenEye though. I think it's still a pretty cool game in its own. Just it doesn't have the same legacy because it's a reskin, really.
By the way, a lot of these points are really close. So like single votes would change up the lineup for a lot of these. 58, Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. 59, Excite Truck. 60, Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Oh, this is a cool one. I love using the Wii Remote like a torch, a flashlight. Just a really great use of it. And for a while, like it'd been like Silent Hill was in this bit of a dip, a bit of a slump area. And the Shattered Memories kind of brought it back. Like it kind of reminded you that this was a quality series. Great psychological stuff too.
Yeah, and pretty much completely different from the original Silent Hill. That's why the new Silent Hill remake that's got announced is probably going to be closer to the original, which is fine. Like this stands on its own.
Totally.
Tied at 61, The House of the Dead Overkill and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games.
I'm glad some rail shooters got on here. Overkill's a cool game. The ports of 1 and 2 are also really good on the Wii.
Yeah, it's a shame. Shame it didn't get a little bit higher, but Overkill, it's certainly met that grindhouse feel.
Yeah, totally.
63, this series needs to come back on the Switch too, especially with mouse mode. Trauma Team.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that's perfect for the Switch too. Come on.
I just bring out a trilogy of Trauma Center, Trauma Team, and was it Trauma Center New Blood. 64, Wii Fit. 65, Wii Fit Plus. 66, this should also be higher, but not enough people played it. Dokapon Kingdom.
Yeah, it should be, totally.
60, oh, wait, that was also a tie. Tied with Dokapon Kingdom, the original Endless Ocean.
Okay.
68, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. 69, Metroid Other M. 70, Guitar Hero 3. 71, I wish this was higher, but I'm fine. Fragile Dreams, Farewell Ruins of the Moon.
Yeah,
I love this game.
I wish that was higher as well.
It is so niche. It's on my top 10, but it's so niche.
It's such a nice little game though. Like the gameplay maybe isn't exceptional, but the tone, the art, I love it. I love this game.
The vibes, yeah, that's just all that. 72, Boom Blocks.
This is also a surprisingly good one.
Yeah,
you look
really
at it, you think shovelware. But no, Steven Spielberg delivered.
Yeah, he did. I feel like if we did get a Wii NSL, this game would probably shine way more.
Oh yeah.
If it came to that. But
I think so.
Yeah. 73, Mario Party 9. 74, tied at 74, excuse me. Kirby's Dream Collection and Mega Man 10.
Poor Mega Man 10.
I know. Poor Mega Man. At 76, Mario Sports Mix. 77, Trauma Center Second Opinion. 78, Rabbids Go Home.
Quite good. Surprisingly quite good.
79, got another tie. Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure, and Battalion Wars 2.
Yeah, I quite like Battalion Wars 2. I've actually not played the first Battalion Wars. But you just get real-time Advance Wars, basically.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the first Battalion Wars, never picked up Battalion Wars 2. So I'm the opposite of you. 81, The Conduit.
This was like Wii's Halo, if you remember.
Yeah, they were really helping up as like the equivalent of Wii's Halo, and it didn't quite meet that.
It definitely didn't land as Halo. It wasn't bad, but yeah. But it was like a big online Wii shooter, supported Wii Speak. It quite visually good. It was very hyped.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. 82 Ghost Squad.
Ghost Squad's cool.
That's another rail shooter. Yeah. 83 Elebits.
Also cool.
84. Honestly, I thought the memes would carry this a lot higher. Link's crossbow training.
Also, like, quite good.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really cool reuse of assets. Just turning Twilight Princess into a little rail shooter, basically. I played this quite a lot.
I did not play it that much, but the one I did play was 85 Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles.
This is cool too.
I really like that one.
Yeah. Just retelling Resident Evil in a rail shooter format. This and Darkside Chronicles are both really good.
I never played Darkside Chronicles, but I did really enjoy Umbrella. 86 Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. 87 Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. 88 Spectrobes Origins. 88 also tied at 88, excuse me, The Blob.
The Blob.
At number 90 Sonic and the Secret Rings. 91 Cave Story.
Oh yeah, this was another big WiiWare game, right? Yeah, this is the console debut. It was a PC only thing before this. Big deal. This was a big deal.
Very much big deal. Getting it off PC. 92 Pokemon Rumble. 93 Castlevania: The Adventure Rebirth.
Oh, we have been done dirty over here. WiiWare has like some of the best games on the platform, and all of the Konami Rebirth games are near the top of that. Castlevania: The Adventure Rebirth deserves to be so much higher than the 90s.
Yeah, and I believe we got some votes for Gradius Rebirth. I don't think we got a single vote for Contra Rebirth.
Oh, that's a crime. Contra Rebirth is like, it's probably my favorite one of the 3 Rebirth games.
Let me see here just to make sure.
I don't blame them.
Contra did get so in comparison, Castlevania got 66 points, Contra got 10 points, Gradius got 1 point.
Oh man, it's people don't remember though. If you didn't play them at the time, they have no legacy anymore.
No, they're not. There's no way to play them. It sucks. Tied at 94, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
Cool version of that game. Like, you'd think it would be a butchered port, but it's quite good.
Yeah, actually, excuse me, it's a 4-way tie. I miscounted these. Tied with those as well, Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World and Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. Got a 4-way tie for 94. At number 98, Klonoa, the remake.
Man, that should be higher.
Yeah.
Not 98.
And finally, for a tie at 99, Go Vacation and Rayman Raving Rabbids.
It's a bit sad to see so many like really good games piled between some so-so games in there.
Yeah. Like I'm looking a little bit further down, just below the top 100, because there's 101 was Trauma Center: New Blood. House of Dead 2 and 3 Return was that coming up. Boom Blocks Bash Party, Dead Space Extraction.
Dead Space Extraction rocks.
Dark Side Chronicles, Bully, Scholarship Edition, Knights, Journey of Dreams, Another Code R was probably 115.
There were quite a few big games that missed out the top 100 there.
Yeah. Disaster's Day of Crisis never came to the States, so they had a hard time.
It's sad My Life as a King didn't make it. I think that's one of the pinnacles of WiiWare.
Where did My Life as King end up at? With 25 points. To compare, Rayman Raving Rabbids and Go Vacation had 58 points. So a lot of the later games just got a lot of singular or very minuscule votes.
Well, this list is very reflective of the Wii, though. The big stuff is in the top 10, and you've got to dig through the rest of the list to find the real gems. People had such different experiences with the Wii. Some people played a lot of shovelware. Some people played the Nintendo stuff. and some people really took a shovel and tried to find the good stuff.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing all of that reflected here.
Very much so. But I think for the most part, good stuff did rise to the top. Definitely worth looking at, and it just shows to show that if we do get a Wii NSO, there's a lot of potential there for us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what ends up happening there. But for now, I think we're going to call it there, and that'll be it for our top 10 Wii games discussion. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/gvgaming with plenty of extra perks. And until next time, which will be the top 10 2000s era PC games, as well as the top 10 Flash games of all time. So don't know exactly when that'll be coming, but look forward to that. So until then, bye.
Bye.